away from the Czech Republic and the Autodromo Most, and we head down to Emilia-Romagna and here in Misano. Hello everyone and welcome to the World Superbikes coverage of the Superpole race here for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. World Superbikes round. Well, it's the European Superbikes round with a round in Australia, you could also call it as well. We're just getting ready to sync up with your commentary team, and it'll once again be the World Superbikes World Feed audio taking you through this one, as everyone else is busy on Le Mans, which is also on the main JB Motorsports channel as well. You can see on the bottom right of your screen the time to the warm-up lap. That is your countdown, and that'll be getting underway. It's the warm-up lap scheduled to start at 9:58 BST, 4:58 Eastern, and then 1:58 Pacific and 10:58 Central European time, as known as local track time. Getting ready to sync up 10 laps ahead of us here around Misano for the shorter race of the three races we have. Of course, race 1 and race 2 the same distance. Then we have the Superpole race. In the middle of them, we've got race 2 coming up later today. That will be at 1 PM BST, 2 PM over in Europe. We'll be on air 5 to 10 minutes before that scheduled race start as well. Also, we've got the F1 Academy Canada race 3. That is on JBM1 and Twitch. That gets underway at 3:50 PM BST, with the F1 Canadian Grand Prix getting underway at 6 PM the pre-show BST, 1 PM Eastern, and the race start at 7 PM BST, 2 PM Eastern, 8 PM over there in Europe, with the NASCAR Cup Series in Mexico. Half an hour after that, broadcast starts at 7:30 with the pre-show over there with the USRN crew. As we just refresh the systems up in the commentary box, and we will get you all joined up with the commentary team of TNT Sports. Let's hopefully go and join them now.
For 25 years since Anthony Govert in Australia in the year 2000. Row 2, Sam Lowes, Alex Lowes and Remy Gardner. Row 3 is Iannone, Locatelli and Petrucci. Row 4, Montella, Bautista. As Simone, his manager, has said, that's critical to get up from there. Lecuona is 12th on the grid. Now, James is just looking at the tyre selection sheet, and he can give us the answer to the question. And the question is, has anybody elected for the purple-marked qualifying tyre, which is only allowed race? Is it a yes or a no?
It is a yes, but Nicola Bulliger and Toprak have chosen the harder X tyre. But on the front row, Axel Bassani is on the Q tyre. So don't be surprised if the Bimota gets a bit of a hole shot here and try and make a bit of a break for it early on. Sam Lowes is on the harder one. Alex Lowes is on the soft one. So the Bimotas are opting to choose the qualifier. Remy Gardner qualifier, Locatelli, Iannone, all the third row with Petrucci are all on the qualifying tyre. Montella, Van der Mark and Lecuona on a harder one. So predominantly, Greg, the grid is on qualifying tyres, but the two main protagonists with Nicola Bulliger and Toprak, they are on the harder compound.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at that now for myself. So it's only 5 riders who are not on the qualifying tyre then. Bulliger, Toprak, Sam Lowes, Lecuona, Van der Mark. So, what on earth is going to happen here? But will the qualifying tyre last the distance, James? They've not really been able to use it too much this weekend. They had to save them. There's only 4 available. They needed some for Superpole qualifying. They can use them in practice, but obviously you can't eat too much into your allocation. 41 degrees Celsius track temperature now as we ride with Andrea Iannoni's Go 11 Ducati.
The nice thing is with the qualifying tyre, for people like Axel Bassani, Sam Lowe's, it'll give them an opportunity to then do similar lap times to Nicolo Bulliger and Toprak. So if they can make a start, if they can get into the first corner first, I'm talking about Axel Bassani here, especially on that front row, they could really upset the rhythm of what's happening. Don't forget the crash for Nicolo Bulliger this morning. He's only done 2 laps so far today, and he's firmly on the back foot. Will that bike feel the same? Because as we know, Greg, sometimes when you crash and rebuild it, it just doesn't give the same information to the riders. So we are about to see, though, as they come to the grid to form the grid for the Superpole race here, and the BMW squad looking slightly nervous there, Greg, I think.
Yes, Bulliger following that crash as his girlfriend Camila watches on, has only had the sighting lap to the grid, and then the warm-up lap we've just seen to get a feel for that bike. Here we go. Then you know there'll be a pause once the light comes on, and when the light goes out, you know what happens. This is what happens. The sprint race begins with Bulliger leading. Look at Axel Bassani, as James Tozen predicted on the qualifying tyre, shooting. Oh, it's both off. Takes Bulliger down. The championship leader Camila can't believe it. Bulliger is taken out by Axel Bassani. Toprak leads. Alex Lowe's is in second position. Sam Lowe's has a big moment. Gardner is third. What was going on there? Bassani explains what happened. Bulliger, he is lost for words. He's out of the Superbike, and the 2 Hondas have just hit each other there in the background. And of course, what did we say? Grid position for later on today. Bulliger will only be 10th on the grid.
What a disaster for Nicolo Bulliger, and Toprak will have seen that as well. Alex Lowe's is on a qualifying tyre, and that's why he's putting Toprak under pressure on this first lap again. But I think Axel Bassani on a qualifying tyre put him under too much pressure into turn 1. He wanted to make the whole shot, but it was a bit of a stretch too far, wasn't it?
A Bimota crashing into a Ducati at Misano. What a nightmare as we look back from Toprak. 2 lows, yellow flags are still out down at turn 1. Locatelli now has passed Gardner, and he's up into 3rd place. Petrucci's 5th. Bautista, he needed a good start, and he's up to 6th. Behind him is Ray. Look at Jonathan Ray go. Then it's Gerloff on the Kawasaki. Sam Lowe's here, and Xavi Vierge, who was banging bars with his teammate Lecuona earlier on in the lap coming out of Rio. Alex Lowe's all over the back of Toprak.
The championship could be down to 14 points if Toprak wins this Superpole race. Alex Lowe's hanging in there on the qualifying tyre. He'll have about another 2 laps at this, so it's imperative that he tries to get past Toprak now on this one and this second lap here to have any chance of battling. But I think Toprak is going to start to creep away from them, that now the podium is absolutely wide open, and there he is. What a disaster for the local rider. This is the replay off the line. Greg noticed that Axel Bassani had a great start, but it wasn't quite good enough to do this. He just went in too hot. Nicolo Bulliger was just turning in, and he could do nothing about it. Number 47 there. What's the front tyre took? Just on the inside of him. And Nicolo Bulliger, what a disaster. But it is only 12 points in the Superpole race, remember. It's not 25. So, as the reaction from the girlfriend and the rest of the team can't believe it, it's not the ideal start to Nicolo Bulliger's Sunday. All this man here, Axel Bassani.
Axel Bassani then on the scooter to be transported back to the pit lane. Andrea Iannoni jumps the start. He's been given a double long lap penalty. Now that happened earlier on in the year, if you remember. And he said, I did not jump the start. Remember, it was Cremona, also in Italy. It was very, very marginal. And Iannoni was telling me at the next round that the stewards actually apologised to him and that they'd made a mistake. So he's going to be absolutely furious, is Iannoni. We'll have to see a replay to see whether it was marginal or whether he really did jump it properly this time. OK, Toprak leads. Alex is second. Then it's Locatelli and Gardner. So 2 Yamahas up there. Jonathan Ray's past Garrett Gerloff. In fact, Gerloff's fallen back behind Sam as well. There's Gerloff and Lecuona fighting away. And here's Iannoni. And the reason we're looking at him is for that reason you see at the bottom of the screen, the double long lap penalty. Bautista all over the back now of Gardner and Petrucci. This man will not be happy when that penalty message comes up on his dashboard.
He really won't, because that's going to make it very difficult to score any points whatsoever in this Superpole race. And Toprak is just starting to creep away from Alex Lowe's. The qualifying tyre you've got about 3 laps maximum, and then after that, those qualifying tyres will be hanging in for dear death. They will. They're not used to doing 10 laps, and the riders really got to adapt on how to get the best out of it and keep it in there until the checkered flag.
Yeah, so it's looking good for Toprak, isn't it? For a 4 Tinto Superpole race from 6 so far this year. There's Bautista all over the back of Gardner. Here they come. Ray, Sam Lowe's. The first of the Hondas is Vierge. Gerloff on the green. Kawasaki is in 10th place, trying desperately to get into the top 9. Bautista has a look at Remy Gardner. This is 4th, 5th place. It's GYTR, GRT Yamaha, ahead of the Aruba.it Works Ducati of the 2-time world champion of 2022 and 23. Here's some good fighting. Gerloff attacking Vierge, and this is for the all-important last position in the top 9. Scott Redding's up with them as well there, just behind Lecuona.
As we heard from Shaky in the intro, it could be the first podium for BMotor in 25 years. I know it's only a Superpole race this, but it will still count. Watch this reaction. Serafino Foti, the team manager, trying to console him, but Nicola Bulliger looks inconsolable at the minute as he gets into the Ducati chair. This is another replay. 47 on the inside. Thought he was able to take advantage of that, but Nicola Bulliger could do nothing about that. And we're here in Italy, and the 2 main Italian chances of victory and podiums were out at turn 1.
Yes, and surely Axel Bassani will be given a penalty for that in race 2, James, later on this afternoon. Iannone then, he's got a problem now with his race link as well, so a transponder issue. And no, he has. He's fallen back. There he is in the background. But Jonathan Ray, as I said, great getaway for Jonathan, up from 15th on the grid to 7th at the moment. And that would mean he'd start there as well for race 2 later on today. Running competitively here on merit in the dry, ahead of Sam Lowe's. Iannone has not taken a penalty yet. Sam Lowe's has just run wide, I saw there, and drops into the clutches of Xavi Vierge on the red Honda. But Xavi's been backed up into Gerloff. Gerloff now alongside the Spaniard. Great move from the Texan. Has he made it stick? Vierge's coming back at him. This is so quick down through here. Wonderful racing and brilliant respect, both giving one another enough room. Lecuona has a go as well.
Oh, turn 14, and Scott Redding's going to take advantage of that as well. It's great racing a little bit further down the field. This is the battle for 10th place. 9th place is Garrett Gerloff now on the Kawasaki. What a move that was from the Texan in turn 11.
Yeah, that was really, really good stuff, wasn't it? And Taz McKenzie has crashed out of the race at turn 13. Now that is a fast corner as well. I hope the Scot is okay. Tricky times for him with the MIE Honda. That's that confirmation then of that double long lap for Iannone. And this is something we've not seen for a while. Jonathan Ray now closing right in on Bautista. That is Taz. Well, at least he's all right, James, but that's the last thing he needed was another crash.
Yeah, it's a really difficult period of Taz's career in World Superbikes. The MIE Honda, obviously, and Taz McKenzie. It's not been a marriage made in heaven at all. We were hoping for a better results this year with the similarities to the factory bike, etc. But unfortunately, for Zach Wanzadi and for Taz McKenzie and the Fireblade Honda, it's not quite working out, unfortunately, yet. Fingers crossed at Donington, the home race, the experience that Taz has got round there, they can just get something that sparks everything off.
Yeah, we were having a chat, weren't we, with Mick Chandler yesterday, his crew chief, and he reckons he will have a good Donington as Iannone glides his way on the front wheel down into the... He's furious, isn't he? Long lap penalty lane, rejoins at the back. Now, we really could do with a replay of the start to just see how obvious a jump start it was. There's Toprak, Alex Lowe's. This is great for BMotor. Here, just down the road from their Rimini factory, which is on the border with the Principality of San Marino. There's Scott Redding on the blue Ducati. Behind Scott Redding is Montella on the second Barney Ducati, teammate to Danilo Petrucci. Michael van der Mark 14th, who's had 2 crashes on Friday and 2 on Saturday. 4 in total for the Dutch BMW rider so far this weekend. Ryan Vickers is in 15th position. Ordinarily that would be a point, but you need a top 9 for points in the sprint race. And Bautista gets very, very close to the back of Remy Gardner, and Jonathan Ray's going with them.
Yeah, brilliant. Jonathan Ray was 8th in the warm-up as well, so something's changed on that R1 for Jonathan, and it's talking to him, isn't it? Look at him. Oh, look at that. Oh. How close you want it through turn 4 with Alvaro Bautista. And this is brilliant for Jonathan. These are the kind of rides that you go, OK, I'm back again. Let's go again in, obviously, the race 2 later on, but the top 9 are the grid. Don't forget that. Just looking at the tyres, Greg, as well, the only guy on the harder one is Lecuona, and he's just coming past Gerloff. So all these guys in front on qualifying tyres, it's a long 5 laps to get through with Lecuona on the hunt.
Good point, James. You'll keep an eye on the lap times. There goes Alvaro Bautista. Then he takes that 5th position away from the Australian. Remy Gardner, let's see what Jonathan Ray now can do about the GRT bike. He's on the Pata Maxis Yamaha. Right in behind number 87. Sam Lowe's has a look as well. Great scrapping going on here in a big moment too.
Oh, Jonathan Ray, just one leg off. We know he's got a bit of a style, just dangling his leg off into the corners like he has done there, the left foot. But
here he goes!
Off a bit too aggressive. Close to you want it. It's like the bumper cars into turn 14.
Yamaha v Yamaha. Jonathan goes through. Now Sam Lowe's has a look at Remy Gardner. Look at Jonathan Ray up against the edge of the curb. Sam Lowe's takes Gardner as well now. Great scrapping going on here. So Sam moves through and he's up to 7th. Gardner now, who was 5th not so long ago, now finds himself 8th.
Yeah, much better, Jonathan. I really like it. It's been a really tough start with that foot injury. Let's not talk that injury down. His foot was a mess, and he's done very well to get back on there. And if he can start this afternoon's race in 6th place, let's see what this man can do here. You can't delete talent, can you? But you can delete confidence, and it's rides like this that can just get it back.
Now, here's a confirmation of what we were talking about before. Who's on the development rear tyre? Sam Lowe's is. So what can he do? I don't know whether he made a late change there. Down on the grid in theory, or pay dividends in the closing stages. And we're getting towards the closing stages now. Top Rack lead over Alex Lowe's is down, actually, saying 2.1 at the top of the screen. It was 1.9 at the start of the lap. Now it's gone up to 2.1. Jonathan just doing what he always does with that left foot coming off the foot peg again. Why does he do that, James?
I think he likes to control the bike in the corner with his inside leg and his knee, and he gives a bit more leverage, like a counterbalance to what the bike's doing underneath him, and then when he comes out the corner, gets it back on the foot peg again to change the gears. It's just a really particular style that Jonathan Ray enjoys. Oh, here comes Montella on girl off into turn 14. That was late, wasn't it, Greg?
It really was. And now the Honda will try and take advantage. That's Xavi Vierge. I noticed while you were talking, Gerloff saved a big moment down through the quick right-handers as well. It's not over yet. Vierge goes through, but a chatter on the front. Montella is off at the last corner. The rider who finished 2nd here in 2 races in Supersport last year behind Adrian Huerta. So Montella is out. And there he is. Well, this has been a race of attrition so far.
Oh, it's a real shame for the Italian. That's 3 Italians out now of this Superpole race. The Italians are feeling the pressure here at home. He did his best, didn't he, to try and pick it up on his elbow. But that is it for Jari.
Same corner where Marc Marquez hit Nicolo Buliga, and they were fighting for 3rd place in the last lap at World Ducati Week. That contentious incident here last summer. So, there's Alvaro Bautista. He's 5th. There's Jonathan Ray on the blue number 65 Yamaha. But as we say, with that harder rear tyre, Sam Lowe's is coming now.
Yeah, this is going to be a long 3 laps, or 2.5 laps as we are here. You can see Sam menacing there behind the R1 and down this back straight. Out of this turn 10 here at Misano, he should be able to slipstream him. No, great exit from Jonathan there. That's not going to give Sam a chance, I don't think, into turn 11. No, it's not. But turn 14, let's see how strong they are as they go through this 12 and 13 section. Beautiful part of the circuit before you get into the slowest corner on the track here at turn 14. And Jonathan's got that covered once again. It's dress rehearsal time, Greg, the next time round.
Isn't it amazing just thinking about what happened at the first corner? You would have thought Buliga was safer, wouldn't you, in the lead than coming from 4th position yesterday. Not often, actually, you see someone make a mistake like that at the first corner, but Bautista Bassani had completely lost the front end, hadn't he? And then he hit Buliga.
Well, Bassani got such a good start. It led him into a little bit too much of a false pretense going into the corner that he could take the lead. But Buliga had just let the brake off, obviously. And sometimes those doors can get slammed in your face. And if you've just got a little bit too much entry speed with too much front brake on the first lap as well, the tyre's not fully up to temperature, down you go. But Jonathan Ray is doing everything he can to cling on to this 6th place.
Yeah, Remy Gardner closing in on these 2 as well. Remember how close it was between Jonathan and Remy earlier on in the race. Jonathan on target here for potentially his best Yamaha result since that podium at Donington in the Superpole race last year. There goes, as you say, Sam Lowe's up into 6th place. Has he made it stop? Yes, he has. Now he unleashes all of that Ducati power on the run up to Tremonto corner. There he is, the Mark VDS Ducati, number 14. His and their 2nd season as a rider and a team here in World Superbikes. But this is Toprak Razgatlioglu coming through to the 10th and final lap. He leads Alex Lowe's by just shy of 3 seconds, and this will be, if he manages to finish the race, his 4th win in a Superpole race so far this season, and his 7th victory overall, which would move him to just 1 behind Buliga, who was taken out of this race at the very first corner while leading by Axel Bassani. Both went down.
Once again, Nico Buliga hasn't got any information. He lost it in the warm-up with only doing 2 laps. He's lost it here. He's got no data for this afternoon's race. Is that bike fully built back together again like he wants it? He doesn't know. The engineers have got to do it again, and he will be on the grid for this afternoon's race, race 2, not knowing if that bike is going to give him the feeling required to win the race. Parariba here and the BMotor team. Is there going to be a podium here? Surely there is on this last lap. Alex Lowe's, come on. You had a podium last year in this race in Superpole on the Kawasaki, and now the Kawasaki engine is powering him on the BMotor to the first one in 25 years.
And here's Andrea Locatelli on target for his 4th rostrum result of 2025. Petrucci behind him though, he's lapping. Is he lapping? No, he's not. Sorry, I was going to say he's lapping quicker. He's not. He's lapping a couple of tenths slower. So that's good news for Locatelli. Should be safe now. Bautista, though, and Sam Lowe's have got good pace. They're lapping quicker now than they have in the whole race so far. But nobody lapping as quick as Toprak. This is Olivier Prébos watching on the big boss from Yamaha Motor Europe, the president. And there's plenty of top brass from Honda and Yamaha here this weekend, as well as the Italian manufacturers, BMotor and Ducati. BMW, though, are the ones who are leading. Toprak out of the Caro hairpin for the last time, through the left-hand return, 15 for the last time. He's now leading by just under 4 seconds through Misano corner. It was an open goal when Bassani took Buliga out at the start of the race. Toprak wins the Superpole race at Misano to reduce Buliga's lead to 14 points.
And Alex Lowe's does get 2nd place on the BMotor. Congratulations, BMotor. Congratulations, Alex. And Locatelli, once again, outstanding performance on one of the R1s that are on the field. And just below that, Petrucci gets 4th. Bautista did get 5th. So where can Bautista finish in race 2 with that improved grid position?
Indeed, because Bautista will start 5th in race 2. Toprak will be on pole for winning this race, and Nicolo Buliga will have to go off his qualifying time as opposed to a top 9 position. So that means Buliga will be 10th on the grid. If you don't finish in the top 9 of the to the front and catch this man. So 1 race away from halfway through the year, and Toprak's only 14 points behind.
Yeah, absolutely. And, well, what a dramatic Superpole race we had there from the World Superbikes. But make sure you join us later on from 1:50 p.m. BST, I do believe, for the race 2 of the San Marino Emilia Romagna World Superbikes round. You will be automatically redirected to the World Endurance Championship with under 6 hours to go there. But thank you for watching, and make sure to join us for race 2 a little bit later on today. Bye for now.